damn, I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I'm so good at clapping.
That's perfect.
Okay, so hey guys, James with Third Party Studios here. We're just getting started. We just watched the pilot episode of Velma, and holy smokes, do we have a bit to talk about with that?
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah.
I don't know what the internet's saying. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we were going through what we were going to talk about today, and I think we've seen all over the news that Velma's been just getting absolutely lambasted by just negative reviews.
1.3 out of 10 is what I last saw.
Oh my god.
It's got a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score, 6%.
6. Oh, I thought you meant like 6 out of 10. Yeah, there it is. 1.3.
I'm okay. So
Critics is split 50-50, but
what's that go up? Go up. What's that? 17.
It gained this week. So it gained.
So people are just watching it. Not.
And this is general popularity at a level of like almost 1,000. So it went up 17 positions after being like ranked like 1,000. So I mean,
I get what that.
Even though it's
now,
increasing,
so.
it's not anything.
Yeah, it's nothing to write home about.
Okay, I want to start off by saying that it was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was so bad. It was so much worse than it needed to be, but it was not as bad as I thought it. I mean, when people were like saying it was going to be a 1 out of 10, I'm like, okay, guys, come on, it's a 2.
So
it's a solid 2.
I think, and this term is going to be very used loosely here. If you had a few beers in you or you just wanted to laugh at something stupid, you could have a few beers and watch like an episode and be like, this is, if you realize how bad it is and going into it laughing at how bad it is, because back, my father and I used to watch these scary movies. They would make movies back in the day. They put out every week. They just make this crappy, horribly CGI scary movie on this old show on TV.
What was it?
We would watch them. I don't remember. It was like the Sci-Fi Channel.
Was it
but they were like
Tales from the Crypt?
No, they were like you had a week to make this really bad movie.
You guys had cable growing up?
Yeah. we had these like luxuries like a TV in the 90s.
I had 4 channels. I had 4 channels until I was like 18 and I had my own place.
And me and my father would watch it because it was so bad that it was funny. And that's what I thought this kind of was. It was so bad that you could sit and laugh at it.
I had a genuine chuckle at one moment. It's when they're singing Pony by Genuine at the funeral. So, like, this dumb slut just died.
This dumb slut didn't deserve to die.
So we should probably make sure that people who haven't seen it yet at least understand a little bit about what this is. So the show itself is an origin story for the Mystery Gang. It's from Velma's perspective, and it starts off they're all just high school kids, and they all hate each other for a variety of reasons, and I guess Black Shaggy is in love with Velma now, and that's a thing. I'm okay with that. That's
Isn't that a thing in like later movies that he has a crush on her though?
I have no idea.
Oh, fuck, I don't know. That shit came out in the 60s, dude.
I've seen plenty of Scooby-Doo movies. I don't recall that. It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean like the live version of them when all the actors played them in that.
Well, yeah, because they had what's her face, like Lydia or Linda or something.
Yeah, an actually good-looking Velma.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, no shit. She's more attractive than
I was just wondering because it's
Gellar.
not completely out of character then, but I know what you're saying back they're high school kids, so and Shaggy's not white.
So a murder happens, which I
no
think
one's the same race except
no one is
Fred's
except for
a rich white guy.
Yeah, I mean, a murder happens, and Velma is blamed for the murders, and
just because the body was in her locker.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's a lot of jokes about how the detectives in this pilot episode are really, really bad detectives. It shines through. Yeah, that definitely comes to.
They're lesbian and they're detectives. That's all we know.
That's the stereotype you should have leaned into more, is what she says or something.
Lesbians are supposed to make good detectives.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was a stereotype.
I didn't either. I was like, I guess there's a stereotype I don't know about.
That's a first.
Yeah, right.
So, I will say a couple of things. As far as the animation goes and the quality of the show, I definitely think the visuals of it are as good as any other cartoon or high-end production that HBO has made as far as animated series.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean,
It
HBO,
didn't look terrible at
this
all.
is the, like, basically, because I think it's ranked #1 most viewed HBO original animated series. That's a mouthful.
Out of one?
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
What else is the original?
One, maybe.
Well, does HBO... So HBO is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, right? Like
I
Warner
think
Brothers owns
so.
HBO or vice versa?
Yeah, no, they own it.
So Warner Brothers, that's the DC universe too. Mm-hmm. So that's the DC animated movies.
Yeah, but it's not. This is an HBO Max original, not a Warner Brothers original.
Okay. Gotcha. Because I'm thinking of shows, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of shows like Young Justice, which is a DC animated. I'm thinking of shows like the new Harley Quinn
that's all,
show.
That's all under the Warner Brothers Animation Studio.
Yeah, so it has literally zero competition, and that is the only accolade they could give it.
They had to give it something.
You got to be very specific to reach #1 in the category.
We were watching this episode. It's a 26-minute episode, 25-minute
Yeah,
episode.
something like that.
At 20 minutes in, we thought it was 40 minutes that had gone by. We thought this was an hour-long pilot. This has been dragging on so long, and every line was like a speed. They were like speed running their lines.
It did feel like that.
It's not because it's like a slow burn or anything. It's just like one after the other, after the other, after the other.
So much happened. I'm like, there's a lot happening in this episode. Is this a two-parter because it's the first?
Oh, I mean, so for this show,
the next episode's actually even like worse. It just continues to top itself.
Well,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we were. I mean, there was a lot of speculation that there's going to be a pretty sudden drop off in viewership after the second week. And did that happen?
I don't know. I know it's getting views on HBO Max and whatnot, but I think it's just the dumpster fire. People just want to watch a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
See how bad it actually is.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, you might get a good chunk in the first 2 episodes, but yeah, it's gonna drop off.
I kind of want to read some of the reviews.
You
on
do it for sure. It'll be great.
Go to episodes. We'll find #1.
So that shows you the rating per episode, so we can kind of see.
Okay.
Kind of see if it goes downhill there.
Okay, so making sure I'm on the right.
2.6, 2.4.
Okay, so
Are these it's on
this is
that.
the episode, season 1, episode 1, and looking for reviews.
You'll probably end
Is
up with a
each
lot of
episode gonna
critic
have a review?
Yeah.
It should.
Okay, I didn't know if it was each episode.
User
There
reviews.
it is.
1.
One good joke at the beginning of the episode. That one good joke at the beginning of the episode was unfunny. It feels like the people who made hate Scooby-Doo somehow got it right.
What?
These are characters. Other than characters sort of looking like Mr. Ink, no one else acts like they should. Not even as a parody of the character. I couldn't tell if Daphne they introduced was supposed to be actually Daphne. Or
because she's
was
Asian
meant
now.
to mislead us. Good series.
Okay. Awful
Full
start.
Warning, spoilers. That's it.
Surprisingly not bad. Someone
5
gave
out of
it a
10.
5. Who is this bootlicker?
They're
6.
called Hot Hamlet. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Solid name.
I went into the show with negative expectations based on what people have said, but I
Same.
must say that I'm actually pretty surprised at this first episode. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I believe this episode to be terrible, but I will not try to go against the grain just to be different. I simply believe this show's first episode was average. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, it's like they're a contrarian, but they're not a committed contrarian.
Oh man,
It's like everyone says it's bad. I think it's average.
What? There's 10 out of 10s on this episode.
I actually liked it.
Oh yeah. There's going to be review bombings on both sides, 10 out of 10s and negatives. But I mean,
Okay, I don't know why other reviews are so low. I thought this was clever. Was a clever update to the Scooby-Doo cast. What update? These aren't the same characters.
no, it's totally different. They don't act the same or anything. It's not just the race swapping. It's just no one acts the same as they used to. So it's just different characters with the same name.
Only con, no Scooby-Doo. That's the only con in this show. I mean, so
Yeah.
here's the thing.
There's gonna be like a drug dealer at school named Scooby or Scoobs.
Oh.
Or some shit. I bet.
And he's gonna be like
that'd be-
Norman's, or I forgot his name.
Norville.
Norville's enemy because he hates.
Because he
hates
hates drugs.
So
They're not gonna be best friends like they used to.
yeah. So
Bitter rivals.
Norville, Black Scooby,
Black Shaggy.
Black Shaggy. Yeah. He
It's the
hates.
same character.
He hates drugs.
He hates
Hates
drugs.
them.
Hates them.
Very honest about that. Very upfront.
He was even like the next scene. He was on his laptop. How to fight drugs or something like that was on the screen. I'm like, a little heavy-handed here.
Drugs
I
in
mean,
our skew.
yeah, how to fight drugs in her school or something like that. I'm like,
Here's the thing. I
Okay.
don't want to just hate this show for the sake of hating it. But I hated the rapid line launching. Like, they just rapidly spat their lines out, and it was so fast. And this show felt like it was an hour. Like, I feel tired.
Yeah, I fucking was yawning as soon as it ended. I'm
I-
like, it's done. It's like I just woke up from a nap.
I feel so tired and mentally just exhausted following that train wreck. And it's just, like I said, I want to give it props where it deserves props. So I guess one thing I'll say was I caught myself laughing quite a bit. I mean, there was moments in it that I thought were just raunchy, dark humor that I thought were funny. Like so there's a paper slicer that someone throws at Velma when they're all bullying her, and Fred Ninja Star throws it back.
my
It hits the wall, and a classmate loses his leg off the paper slicer, and people are just like not reacting to that at all.
It's just way out of left field.
And I just found myself laughing. I was like, some of this stuff is just so absurd that
and he at the end, like he's like, okay, this. They all start cheering. Even the guy with the leg off, he starts cheering. It's like, dude.
Yeah, I understand it's like an animated series and whatnot, but there is like a shitload of ridiculous situations. Like the whole premise basically of Velma getting into mystery solving again is because she's just randomly accused of killing a girl at her school.
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as yeah. Oh, that. What we just saw.
Yeah,
oh,
that's part of
oh,
that.
just missed
He
it.
throws the paper cutter.
Yeah, he throws the
cutting
paper
thing.
cutter. Yeah, that leads to conflict.
But then it just goes away. Like they don't finish. It seems like this show could have been 20 episodes because they just do something and it just ends. Like that guy got his leg cut off.
Yeah.
And it does nothing else. You don't ever see him again.
So I think that here's my problem with this show, is that it's really hard to tell if there is an audience for this or not. Because the reviews being a 1.3, I personally think that as terrible as the show is, I was very honest. I was like, a 1.3, a 2. I was partially joking, but I do think that there is an audience for this level of absolute idiocracy. I just don't know if that audience is on HBO Max.
Well, I still got a problem with have you ever seen Big Mouth?
I've
No.
seen Big Mouth.
It's the same
hate
problem I
that
have
show.
with this too. It's like way over sexualizing of teenagers.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's like
yeah.
it's a new. The
didn't
first
even
scene
think
is
of it
like
that way.
a shower scene with just bubbles covering precarious spots
was that
of like
their-
15-year-olds.
Yeah. Was that? I agree with you. They shouldn't have done that. But was that their joke to make fun of?
Well, they kind of
People
did that
did-
meta thing where it's like there's a lot of sex and nudity and whatnot.
To
in pilot
grab on.
episodes.
They were making fun of shows that do that, but they were also doing it. So I don't.
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
like yeah.
But I do. It was like they're making fun of it while also doing it.
Is
It's
this
like a little parody on itself.
is this the future of entertainment where it's every show is going to have a laugh and applause sign in the corner of the screen where it says this is a joke.
Yeah, you
this
make-
is a meta
Please
thing.
laugh.
This is what shows do now. This is
It's-
what makes
well,
it funny. This is your motivation.
It's
this is
already in the stand-up community to where like they do stand-up performances for applause, not laughter. So it's like basically just make a point and then everyone in the audience agrees with you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing.
I mean, there's politics stuff that I actually want to touch on, but this isn't the platform I want to be doing that on. But as far as like comedians just making comedians going down that route, if television goes down that route, you're gonna find a lot of people sitting there on their phone looking at social media for anything to entertain them. Just anything.
Yeah. It's getting worse and worse. So I was thinking actually something on the way here, not to derail your idea, but I wanted to get your opinion on it.
Shoot.
If this wasn't a remake or trying to rebrand of Scooby-Doo, let's just say this is a kid high schooler's origin mystery show. Doesn't even say Scooby-Doo on it. Would have this been accepted more?
Yes.
I said
Absolutely.
No,
I said at
'cause
home.
no one would have watched it.
To
The
the-
only reason why it's getting watches is because
'Cause there's Scooby-Doo on it.
I disagree, and here's why. You brought up Big Mouth. Big Mouth is not. It's an original. It's not based on anything, and it has a cult following.
Yeah, I mean
And
there are cult followings, but it wouldn't be as viewed as this was.
maybe not out of the gate. I mean, the pilot definitely would not have been viewed as much, but I also would not have gotten this level of negativity.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what people gravitate to when they are comparing this show to anything, it's not just the cringy like jokes. It's not just the hypersexualization or the really grotesque comedy in it. It's the fact that it is the gang. You know, I mean,
Yep.
it's you said the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, it's
I
been
mean,
around for fucking ever.
every
Ever.
single child, every single young person grew up knowing what Scooby-Doo was, knowing who the gang was, and maybe having watched it, maybe read the books, or watched the show, watched the movies, got a toy. Everyone knows what this is, and it's so violently different. It goes so far out of left field that you can't compare it. I mean, you can't look at it through any other type of lens besides the perspective of a person who knows.
Look what they did to my boy.
Look what they did to my boy. Exactly.
They did to my boy.
It's just everyone's just so sick of Hollywood and whatnot, just ruining previously established IPs.
Yeah,
So it's just
yeah.
so over it.
Because I said at home with the fiance, because she's like, oh, that has 1.3 stars, and we were laughing at it. You know, we didn't watch it at all until I came here, but I was like, I bet if this wasn't trying to remake Scooby-Doo, it'd have triple to quadruple the rating, which isn't tough to do with 1.3 stars.
Yeah,
but
I suppose the rating probably.
I bet it'd be a
gone up.
6. Just because people are dogging it with 1 star because they're like, it's not Scooby-Doo, which I agree. They should. They ruined it.
And that's my only point, is that I think this show would be better than it is if it was a fresh concept, if it was a different gang, if it was a different person with a crappy origin story.
You can have your diverse mystery solving cast.
Don't make it Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. Oh, this actually brings up when we're talking about reboots and stuff. Have either of you guys looked at Megan?
No.
Or that movie?
Yeah.
I've looked into it and I kind of wanted to go see it, but I never went to watch it. I didn't go watch it.
If you want, I'll go check it out with you tomorrow. I don't have any plans, but so I talked to people who have seen it, and the premise is that it's a artificial intelligence android whose only mission is to protect and keep safe this little girl, and it learns as an artificial intelligence, but it only learns things that are relevant to protecting the girl. So it doesn't learn morals or ethic. It learns how to protect this little girl.
It's basically like
and it
every
breaks.
AI in any movie, though. It's like, we built this AI to protect humanity, and its interpretation of it was to basically destroy humanity.
Destroy it. Well,
Exactly.
that's like the whole concept out of Iron Man, this Age of Ultron.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, we're our own worst enemy. We better get rid of them. And
Yeah.
that's kind of the same thing. Not the same thing with Terminator, but it starts gaining intelligence.
So
It's like, well, let's get rid of them.
So I'm curious. 6.6 out of 10. I want to remember that number. 6.6. This is a take on James Wan. James Wan, my boy. I love James Wan.
You know him?
No, I love. Yeah, he's fantastic.
My boy.
Everything he touches is gold to me, except movies he produces. So
So you did like the first Aquaman. He directed it.
Yeah, it was great, except for all the parts that were bad.
I don't know. I enjoyed it.
The artificial intelligence evil machine concept that Terminator did, overdone, overplayed. And people just eventually grew to hate it, and they looked at what was it, Dark Fate or whatever, the most recent one, where Sarah Connor comes back. Mm-hmm. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I don't even know if those movies are connected to each other at all after like 3.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is the artificial intelligence robot, robot killer concept is a unique concept enough that it can be done in so many different ways that it can be done like this. So what I'm curious is, how does Megan stack up against the most recent Terminator movie as far as like IMDb
I'm pretty
ratings?
sure it's easy to beat.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
Well, you can look it up right now, Dark
yeah,
Fate.
yeah. I was just wanting to see the number and
I heard that Megan movie
Oh, you
towards the
gotta
end had
check
some
out Dog
really
Show.
cringy moments too, because you see that dancing part. They're like,
Oh, it
that
wins
goes
by
on a
0.4.
little too long.
it wins. It wins. And this had I don't remember the actress's name.
What's your face?
Who plays Sarah Connor? I don't remember her name.
It's
Scroll
right
down.
there. Linda Hamilton.
Okay, Linda Hamilton, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So this one
No, he
had
doesn't play her.
So Dark Fate had star power and a pretty big budget, and it performed. Its rating is lower than Megan, and the concept is similar enough where it's, killer robots. Very very basic premise.
Well, one's a horror, one's an action.
Well, I mean, aren't the Terminators got started as a suspense horror?
It's like
It's what it should have been.
suspenseful action. It's definitely not horror.
You're a horror.
Just a lull in conversation. Yeah, well, fuck you.
I am sick of Terminator. I hope it's dead forever.
I wish they didn't overuse it and overdo it. You could have made such an easy concept to do
Well, we were kind of
a good job with, and they just
I don't remember what we were talking about last week, but it reminded me, and I was going to ask you guys what your opinions on Salvation with Christian Bale.
I actually didn't hate it.
I
think
it.
the rating's really low. You should look that up. I think they should have do another one and like the whole out war. I mean, they did a couple over the top.
More futuristic too, because it just looks like a post-apocalyptic land with tech that we already have.
Well,
Salvation.
that's the point. The AI can only advance so quickly so far because John Connor is still alive.
You'd probably want
Yeah.
to see a Terminator, like a futuristic Terminator movie, kind of play out like, was it Live, Die, Repeat? Where like there's mech suits that you're building, you got very simplified tech, you got humans versus machines on the battlefield. And
Also known
as
as Day After Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
They
Yeah.
changed the name later.
So I mean,
Great movie.
Yeah, that movie would be a premise.
It has nothing to do with AI or robots, though.
No. But I mean, like as you see the battle unfold, you would kind of expect it to be a machines on one half, humans on the other half, and you'd expect humans to have some mechanism of survival against the machines at the rate they can reproduce themselves.
Yeah, the reason why I bring up more futuristic, because like you look at the beginning of Terminator 1, they got like laser guns and shit.
Yeah.
And John Connor's still alive.
That's
then.
fair enough. That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
They did a game about it that was kind of in the same vein as
Wasn't that game
Homefront 2?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know
it's
you're
all right
talking-
and stuff.
I
But
was gonna say I heard it didn't get. I guess I didn't know the rating, but a couple of places reviews I watched of Gamer's Sake, it was a mixed bag. But
right. They enjoyed the Terminator element of it. It's just the gameplay is kind of...
okay, was that it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, so how would you? So Taylor, you've seen all of the Terminator movies?
Not the last couple of recent ones. I watched the first 3 and then Salvation.
Out of those 4, then, how would you rank order them?
Like best to worst.
Yeah.
I liked the second one the best.
Oh, I mean, that's considered one of the greatest movies
It's
of all
really
time.
good.
It really is.
It's really good.
James Cameron.
It's probably the second one, the first one, Salvation, and then the third.
I think
They're all really good.
Yeah, I think
in my
your-
opinion.
I think your rank order is probably about where I'm at with it too.
Same. I started with the third one. Third one was my first Terminator
Oh, did
movie.
you? I started with the second one
I started with the first.
because my dad was really into them Terminator movies.
We had it on DVD.
DVD.
We watched it on DVD in the DVD drive. We had to wipe it. We had to wipe off the DVD with our sleeve or our
You know-
shirt to make sure it didn't scratch.
I
And
was like, I'm pretty sure I had it on VHS.
Just kidding.
Like DVD. All right, rich kid.
The game, 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Oh, is it?
What's the game?
It's called Terminator Resistance.
Yep. It's kind of stealth based too. It's got some stealthish.
It actually looks like it's pretty good graphics.
It's like $40 last time I checked or something.
Let's check here. Yeah, $40.
Called it.
Was this on console as well?
Yep.
Probably, huh?
Yep.
November 14th, 2019. I don't know. Maybe. It looks good.
That does look good. When did this come out? It's PS4.
November 14th, 2019.
Is it a PlayStation exclusive?
No.
PS4,
it's on everything.
Xbox One, PC.
What variant of game is it? Is it a strategy? Is it a first
Okay,
person?
so it's kind of like Far Cry, but dumb.
Robots.
Yeah, it's not as expansive or in depth, I would say. Like Homefront Revolution, I think it's called. The second one.
Oh, that one's terrible.
Yeah, it's kind of like that gameplay wise, but it's more. What's the word? It's not as like big or anything. It's more focused.
Oh, is it
It's
more
focused.
linear? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not quite open world.
That looks.
I wonder if there's like
Awesome.
an upgrade system, because I'm a big sucker for like, oh, you can upgrade your weapons and gear and
I
stuff
think
like
so.
that. I mean, $40 is a little much, but I mean, if I saw it on sale for $20, you might go buy it and
Yeah,
play through it.
These visuals don't look any worse than the original Modern Warfare, like Call of Duty 4,
No, that's
5, and 6.
that's what I was saying. I'm on my Steam page right now. They look pretty decent.
Okay, yeah. I honestly, looking at the Terminator in the backdrop, I'm like, oh crap, that gives me like Terminator 1 vibes.
It does, 100%.
This is actually pretty gorgeous.
Yeah, have the war look like that. How do we get on the subject of Terminator?
You changed us off when you wanted to know how we thought about salvation.
Well, no, you were comparing it to Megan or some shit. Oh, AI.
Yeah. AI robots and stuff like that. That's how we got. That is how we got here. Yes.
Down the rabbit hole.
We chased it.
Yeah. Anyway, Velma sucks.
I might have to give this game a play because this looks really fun. Honestly, it looks like it's got good visuals. I'm guessing the story's probably decent.
Probably just a single player game, huh?
Yes.
I like it. I like exploration. If it's like Far Cry in that concept where
It's not as big. It has like some more open levels, but it's pretty linear.
That's his
Far Cry was
running.
bigger than it needed to be, though. I think that's.
Uh,
I like Far Cry. Don't
four and 5 were. 3 was perfect.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I gotta say, I think I like 5 more.
Did you?
Yeah. I liked the Montana feel of it and
Okay.
the cult and whatnot. I mean, nothing beats Voss as a bad guy. But
That's probably why I
Yep.
was such a sucker for that game. I just wanted more of him.
Talking about I guess we've been talking about when I brought up Megan, I didn't even think to bring up Avatar 2 hit $2 billion.
I saw that on my Facebook.
I think it still might be a 1.9.
Is it?
I think so. One sec.
I thought it hit.
I think it's the second highest grossing movie behind Avatar 1.
Oh my goodness! I
They're
did
gonna-
not think it would do
gonna
that
have a
well. To be honest with
monopoly
you
on-
guys.
Well, and you know that so James Cameron came out saying that
2 billion, yep, it hit.
Holy cow.
It was,
what's the actual number?
I
I thought that it's that important, but just curiosity's sake.
all the most recent Avatar sequel hits great 2 billion box office. 2.2 plus billion.
So 2.2 is good, close enough, you know.
It was 1.9 a couple days ago. This thing's just making money.
Oh
That's
my god.
crazy.
Well, it has zero competition and people want to go to theaters.
True.
It's it's what I've been saying. I'm like, Rome will always have gladiators. Like, the theater will always be the experience people want. Like, people want to go to drive-ins still. Maybe it's a smaller niche group, but I mean, it's always been, people have wanted those experiences. They're not as practical. So they settled for alternatives. Now we go to arenas to watch comedy shows. We go to theaters to watch movies. I mean, we try to get the biggest spectacle we can out of whatever content we're trying to absorb. You get the bigger screen in your home. You get the surround sound system. I mean,
people pay a lot of money. You're right. That
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I don't, even if people get ridiculously high-end home theater systems get good, which they won't, by the way. I mean, which they won't for a million variable reasons. But
Well, if you have that much money, you could just get a theater in your home. I mean,
well, it's not the logistics of getting a nice TV with a nice sound system. That's getting easier and easier, cheaper and cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is square footage in your home. Homes are getting smaller and more expensive. You don't get a theater room anymore. Like, you don't have an extra. Most new houses don't include a bonus room where you can do.
no, not really.
So people are going to get to a point where they'll have as big of a TV and as good of a sound system in their home as they can get, because the TV will share a wall with their neighbor, and so they can't get any louder, and they don't have a bonus room or a theater room, you know. So people will always be going to. I think people will always be going to the theaters. I really do.
No, for sure, I agree. You're right. You know, for how long we were stuck not going to theaters with COVID. You could
We're
tell
lying.
people
It's still at
missed it.
1.9.
It's not at 2 yet.
1.928 globally.
Ugh.
Posted 2 hours ago.
Well, you know the James Cameron came out a few weeks ago saying that he had updated that he was wrong about his original projections, that Avatar 2 needed to hit 2 billion in order to break even.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
He adjusted it down to 1.5 billion, and I'm just like, okay.
That's a lot of money you
Yes.
lied about.
I mean, yeah, did you forget to carry the zero? Like, what
Yeah.
what the hell?
You know, what multiplier were you using there?
Well, I wonder if it's I wonder what that could be, but
I think it was because they filmed 2 and 3 back to back, and they kind of just threw 3's budget in.
yeah.
Coulda.
Because with 2, they're still building the technology and whatnot to film the rest of the movies.
So
that
maybe
was part of it.
maybe
So
it
it
was all
wasn't
the
like-
work to build that
A lot of
software.
pre-production stuff.
That's probably is what it is. They threw all that time and software build up into the first budget to justify it all coming out. But
Yep. But yeah, I'm sure it'll freaking make the top 5.
oh yeah,
Because we got Avatar, Endgame, then Titanic. So James Cameron's got 2 in there. Force Awakens and Infinity War.
ugh.
Force Awakens?
2.06 bill.
People,
How?
was that the first one?
The
First sequel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why.
I mean, people were excited for it to
People,
come back.
it's Star Wars. People are excited for it to
Yeah, it
come
was
back.
a decade since the last movie, so.
I can't believe that it's that high. Because I mean, I wasn't gonna write it
I'm
off
not
and say
surprised.
I wasn't gonna write it off and say it didn't make $1 billion. But I'm like, did you say 2.6?
2.06.
2.06. That doesn't compute. My brain break.
If you would have said that was the second one, I would have broke my brain. But it's the first one, like you said. Our Star Wars movie didn't come out for a decade. People are hungry for Star Wars, and they always will be.
I guess I gotta put my brain.
I'm not anymore. I actually don't care about
Not
it.
anymore, yeah. Not anymore is right.
Like, I haven't even seen the Mandalorian trailer yet or anything. I don't give a shit.
I watched the trailer, and I probably will watch it. Like I said, I really like The Bad Batch. I'm watching that, the second season now. I've watched all those animated series. I really like them. They're really good.
I only watched like 2 episodes of the
I
Bad
watched
Batch.
the Book of Boba Fett. I watch all that stuff. It's doesn't blow me away, but it's like
I quit halfway through Mando season 2, and I haven't watched anything
Okay.
Star Wars since then.
that did kind of slow down. I agree with you. I just kind of go home for lunch. 'Cause I
Right.
have a lunch break, and I'll just put it
Throw
on.
some shit on.
Can I ask your guys' opinion just back to Terminator 2, or I'm sorry, Terminator Salvation real quick? I want to get your opinion on this because I think, Cody, you and I have talked about this a 100 times before. But my beef with Terminator Salvation is the human robot hybrid that survived underground for...
Are you talking about Jake Sully?
Yeah. My biggest problem with that movie was Jay. Why is he a human hybrid in every movie he's in?
Oh shit, he's got another movie like called Titans.
Sure does.
Titans like that. Yeah.
And he doesn't even know he's
And
a
he's
robot,
a
right?
demigod in Wrath of the Titans and Clash of Titans.
He doesn't know how to just be okay
He
being
can't just
human.
be a
Yeah.
dude.
But
Motherfucker.
can you explain where that makes sense?
I don't know.
Is it a plot device? Is that it?
Look, I haven't watched that movie since it came out, and I don't remember when it came out. I watched it twice, right when it came out and like a year later. If I remember correctly, wasn't he supposed to basically... The robots turned his robot memory off and made him a human. So he was supposed to infiltrate and get the trust and then get on the inside, and he's supposed to be like an assassin.
That's kind of interesting.
He was supposed to get close to John Connor. The robot would have flipped him back to robot mode, and he would have killed Connor.
I think it's inverted.
They start the movie off though with him accepting to do these trials and whatnot, and then you bring in the point that maybe he was just a robot the entire time, and they implanted those memories into his brain. That
I
makes
can't
it a bit
remember.
deep.
I'll have to rewatch the movie.
That's okay.
Keep it ambiguous. I like it.
Okay. Say that again slowly so that my
Whisper in his ear.
Say that again. Say that again.
So-
Simplify that again for me, because I think you're onto something, and I just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly.
And I might be wrong. Like I said, I haven't watched his movie since it came out. But if I remember correctly, the robots, the AI, put like basically all this flesh, and they implanted him with memories of being a human, because he thought he was human. Remember, he got hit by a landmine or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you guys
Right.
doing?" And John Connor's like, "What are you?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Help me."
Yeah, he didn't even realize.
He didn't realize he was a robot.
But okay, so am I just stupid, or
Probably.
So
he was human? They used his body to make a machine hybrid.
I think.
I thought
It
he
was-
was a robot, but
and they
they
implanted
put like
him with memories.
flesh and memories and skin on him.
See, now it makes it better.
That's what I thought he was. And then now, if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm probably not, I would be thinking the AI would be like, as soon as we know where you're at, we're gonna flip you back to robot mode, and you're gonna kill Connor.
Yep.
Because-
that just makes too much sense.
It probably does make too much.
I like
They
the
should make
version
my
where it
movie
didn't make
idea.
sense.
That fixes so many problems I had with that movie. I need to rewatch it now.
I got
bet
it
you'll
too.
love it,
Because
though.
Wow.
maybe my brain's like, this is stupid. This is how
No,
I
no,
do
no.
it.
That if that's how it plays out, because I swear to, because it's the prologue. It's the beginning of the movie is him being a human. That's an implanted. If that's an implanted memory, that changes the movie fundamentally.
Or he's living out, like they just put basic human memory in right away, and he's living out a human.
Well, he crawled out of
He
the
does
dirt
have that.
after
When he gets into, is it still Skynet or do they switch the name
It's
of that
Skynet.
one? Okay.
Thank you.
Sky.com.
He
I've been
gets-
calling it the robots when I forgot the name of it. I'm
Right.
like, something.
Well, he
Skynet.
gets into Skynet and he has a conversation with Bellatrix Lestrange, and it might have explained it there. I don't remember that speech or anything.
But it was
Yeah.
not the most well-received movie, so it probably isn't that good of writing.
Well, you think so?
Yeah, well, maybe we're making it smarter than it actually
We
is.
probably
my
are.
mind, the reason I immediately think he's a human who was given all these machine hybrids was because if Skynet did build him and they implanted these and they implanted these memories into his brain, why did they bury him? Because he's buried. He crawls out of the mud.
Yeah.
It's in a lab. They have like a secret lab thing down there.
Because they go back to it
I was
at the
trying
end
to
of the
figure out
movie.
what the fuck you're talking about burying him. No, he was
He
in
is-
like a lab that Connor infiltrates, and they try to get some data out of there.
And then
He comes out of that hole.
And then he also helps kill the first, T-1000 model, Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he makes an appearance in that.
yeah.
So he helps kill one of them, I remember.
Well, so I want
So
to
he is
clarify
good.
something. I want to clarify something. I'm 86.2% positive that it's not Arnold Schwarzenegger that makes an appearance, but it was their attempt at CGI.
No, yeah, it was.
Oh,
it wasn't,
it
it wasn't
is.
him.
Yeah.
It is.
No, it's not him.
I know that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It is their attempt.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're talking about a CGI rendered image.
It is, because
and
it
not
looks-
him with nodes on his face.
Well, for sure, because it looks like he did in whenever they made that first movie, the 90s. It's the young Arnold.
Yeah,
Because
it's
that's the
not-
T-1000 they send back.
I like how in Dark Fate he's like old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Because
started aging.
Because Skynet was like, we're not gonna need these after 80 years.
Right.
Like
We'll
they
just
can
make
just
them
We're
age
gonna
like
start
regular
making our
people.
robots look old. It'll be cool.
Well, and then it was the second one where he's like, it's a fusion reactor. I can live for 100,000 years, but I will be basically a metal skeleton walking around in Central Park. Yeah, it's Terminator Salvation. I got to rewatch it now because that just makes way too much sense. If that's what it is, that fixes so many issues I had with that movie. And
I'm gonna get a text at 1 a.m. from him. That wasn't it at all. Wasted my time rewatching this movie. It was dumb.
here's the thing: it's regardless of whether the movie itself is good or not, it's not even close to Christian Bale's best films.
Oh no,
It's not even his top 10.
there's no competition for his best film. It's the one with Heath Ledger and Batman.
Oh shoot!
Eh.
You just woke
Did
a
I just-
sleeping giant on this one.
Did I poke the hive nest over here?
Well, we were thinking this topic could be its whole episode, so maybe we should.
It sure can
Cody,
be.
calm down. Put the genie back in the bottle.
It's not ready. It's not
But
time.
do you have an opinion on Christian Bale's like movie catalog, like, and whether or not do you think
I can't-
Salvation's high on it?
No. Well, I mean, it's an alright movie and whatnot. Are we talking about movie or his acting performances? Because
Movies. So I'm thinking Christian
Okay.
Bale's movie, his filmography. Take Christian Bale's entire roster, and I guess you rank order Christian Bale's films and where on it, if on it, does Salvation fall as?
I'd say towards the bottom because I don't know if he's had any really bad movies.
No, he's a. What is? Oh, I think I
It
just.
seems like he's, granted, not that I go out and search for his movies, but it seems like to me he's choosy
good,
with the
good,
movies
good.
he's in.
So he was. So even this last year, he was in Amsterdam and Thor: Love and
Oh,
Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder is probably at the bottom.
Oh, that's right. He was the Godslayer, right?
Thor:
But
Love
I
and-
heard he was good in it.
I thought he was good in it. I
yeah,
think
we're talking about his movies, not his
Yeah,
performances.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Thor: Love and Thunder has got to be like at the bottom. Well, Amsterdam performed much worse than Thor: Love and Thunder did.
Okay, now you're bringing box office into it.
Well, I mean, do you think
Are talking
Amsterdam
about
would be a
like
better
our
movie
personal,
than Thor:
our
Love and
personal
Thunder?
critical reception of the movie, not how much it make or what everyone else says.
I was
thought you were
only-
asking my fucking opinion.
I was only using the box office numbers for Amsterdam because neither you or I have seen Amsterdam, and I didn't think you had an opinion on it.
No,
So
I
was-
don't, but I'm sure. Okay, this is just speculation,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's like more coherent and better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
It's probably a fair guess, yeah. Well, it's probably reasonable. I didn't see Vice. Honestly, I didn't know.
He played Dick Cheney.
He did.
I gotta watch that now.
The
Awesome.
Big Short was awesome. I like that movie a lot. The Big Short. You know what that one is, right, Taylor?
Yeah, I've never
about
watched
midgets,
it, but
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
They're really big for their size.
Midget's making money.
They're big for their smallness.
Midgets making money. Sounds like a good movie. Sign me up.
They may be small, but they sure are big. Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Underrated in my opinion, but
I
still
agree.
not like great. But
I think that movie got an unreasonable amount of hate because my understanding is it was pretty biblically accurate as far as like the actual story goes.
I can tell you why I got hate. This is
Did-
Ridley Scott.
Did you have an opinion on Exodus?
I didn't ever watch it.
I think
It's
you
not
might.
that-
I think you might like it if you go in there. Like I know I have people in my life in my circles who are like, that movie's an abomination to the Bible.
Oh,
and
you
stuff."
can't
It's like,
take that stuff
No,
that serious. You
no,
know.
it is.
They refuse.
No, it was garbage.
Like they refused.
Russell Crowe.
They refused to even hear out the idea of going to see it because I was like, "This is
Why would they think that way though? Because
It's a
I-
modern movie about a biblical.
They think
story.
they're gonna go see Passion of the Christ or some shit.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's one of the last.
yeah, but if you said if it's biblically accurate, why would they care? I mean,
I don't think they believed me. I think they. I
Oh.
think they did not believe me, or Fox News told them not to. I don't
That's
know.
fucked.
Like I don't know why they actually had such a because it didn't seem like it was. I mean, keep in mind Exodus. Rewind to 2014. I mean, streaming platforms were not as big as they were. I mean, you didn't have people cutting over from cable quite yet at an extreme volume. You had most commercials, most trailers were on your cable television between programs you were sitting there and watching. So Exodus, Gods and Kings comes up, and you see Moses and you see magic and you see all this other stuff. And if you're a religious person, you're like, that's probably not what I think it's supposed to be. You know, and I'm not being derogatory or anything like that. It's just moving on.
I liked it. I
I
might
did
rewatch
too.
it later this weekend.
Obviously, The
good.
Dark Knights.
The Furnace, that was good.
Fighter was
great.
awesome.
The Fighter was good.
Fighter was so good. Terminator Salvation,
It was really
2009.
good.
Oh, I'm not there.
Jeepers,
Have you
is
seen
that
it?
old?
I'm not there. Have not seen it.
It's a
Which one? I'm not there. Haven't seen that
what's
either.
his name again now? I'm losing it.
Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett,
They all play Bob Dylan.
Richard Gere, Heath Ledger's in it.
Yeah, they all play Bob Dylan. It's really good.
Wait. They all play Bob Dylan?
They all are Bob Dylan throughout certain points in his life.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so he might
it's
barely be in it.
artistic.
It's autistic?
It's autistic.
Oh.
It's artistically autistic.
Well, Heath Ledger,
Nice.
I'm like, okay, I'm in. I'm sold. I don't need to be convinced anymore. I'm like, I'm going to watch this. But I don't understand it, like the premise, I guess. So they're all Bob Dylan at different points in his life. Okay, I'm with you. The Prestige was awesome.
That was gonna be mine. Like that's up there. I love.
Did you see the Prestige, Taylor?
I think so. Bring it up for a second here.
Christopher Nolan, always great.
Heath Ledger.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, so this is the one, remind me, they're like rivals, right? And like
They're magic rivals.
Yeah.
You know how intense that
Oh,
shit gets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I did see this. Yes.
I'm a
They're
better
magicians.
magician than
Good.
you are.
and Christian Bale has it's been out for 14 years.
We'll spoil whatever on here. We don't
Yeah.
care.
He gets away with all of these different tricks and stuff because he has a twin.
How dare you just spoil
Spoilers.
And no one knows about the twin. Except now everyone does, or at least
Except for Hugh Jackman finds out at the end. And then you find out Hugh Jackman's just been killing himself over and over and over again to perform his trick.
Yeah, because magic. He
That's another ambiguous thing that I like is like you don't know which Hugh Jackman comes up for the end of the show. If like he's the one that's going down and being killed every time. Like,
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, that's just The Prestige was great. That's another one that deserves a rewatch. Batman Begins.
Rain of Fire. I liked that movie.
Reign of Fire is underrated.
Totally
as hell.
forgot about that movie. It's really good.
I rewatched it this year. It is for 2002.
Yeah.
The dragons and the CGI and the
It
actual
looks
effects were
really
good.
It was way ahead of its time. For 2002, the dragons look amazing.
It's got a kind of dumb premise, but it's fun and
Yes,
gritty.
it's just a fun movie if you don't take it too serious.
Yeah,
Just-
Matthew McConaughey's in it being a badass.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was before
Being
he
an
got-
American dick and you're just like, oh yeah.
that was
bald
before he
head
got-
and a-
before he got really famous and started playing all those.
And then he's an
rom-coms.
idiot and jumps off a tower and gets eaten.
Well, and it's
Worth
an
it.
interesting premise too. Like the idea behind.
I like you say that after I just said it. It's kind of got a dumb premise to it.
No, I said interesting. The dragons. I mean, there's only one. There's only
One male,
male
because
dragon.
the male will eat the other males
Yeah.
before they get big.
And that's how they keep dying off in history. Is that the one will just go away for a while and just hibernate, and then it keeps coming back across histories.
And I also like the premise of that's what killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
That's what they say in this movie. The dragons did it.
I mean, I do think that this movie would be very fun to see in theaters. I would enjoy the hell out of it.
You want to schedule a private screening?
Not for this. But I'm saying that, so I do believe that eventually you have theaters that are going to have to figure it out, that the movies that Hollywood and that a lot of indie platforms are putting out are not getting people into the box office. You're going to have to start bringing some of these older films back into theaters, and this would be one I would want to see.
Well, here's the thing with the theaters and whatnot. It's like, okay, Avatar 2 almost hits $2 billion. But ticket prices have gone up. Less people are going to the theaters. So it's kind of less people are watching it, but it's making just as much.
Right. I mean, you have half
So
the
yeah,
audience.
you don't have as many people watching as they used to, but
Yeah. But I mean, that's the price you get. It's like, if you want to go see a spectacle, if you want to go see a great film, if you want to go see a concert, if you want to go see a an NFL game or an NHL game, you pay a premium price for it.
Sure do.
The fact that tickets are expensive doesn't necessarily mean that there's not an audience for it.
Oh, there's an audience. There's just less of an audience.
Well, compared to, other things that people will spend tremendous amount of money on, if there were good films, I think that the industry would be fine. But I think even if they brought back older films that were just awesome and very enjoyable and fun that can be enjoyed with your family, I think that'd be great. Because I don't know I don't know many people in my life, or many younger people in my life, who have seen Reign of Fire.
Yeah.
So it's a new experience for many people. Not obviously everyone, but it's a new experience for so many people.
True.
Reign of Fire, American Psycho is newer than I thought. I thought American Psycho was the 90s.
Close enough.
Yeah. Still felt like the 90s.
He plays... Who's Thomas in Pocahontas?
Oh, he's the kid.
There's a kid in Pocahontas?
That kind of
thought
hangs
Thomas-
out with Mr. Smith.
Oh.
It just popped into my head. It's like
How the hell did you remember that?
I don't know. I've seen this movie once when it came out, probably.
You retained that information in your head?
I guess.
That's crazy.
I'm full of useless shit.
Yeah, you are. And Mel Gibson's in it too. Man.
Bill Connolly.
Oh, and who was that? They had the woman who does Mr. Incredible's suit.
Yeah. That looks exactly like her.
They have the
Grandma Willow. That makes sense.
This is Edna. This is Edna
Yeah.
from the Incredibles. No capes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm enjoying the hell out of that.
Back when Mel Gibson was still popular. I miss that man.
Isn't he doing something? He's got a project in the works right now.
Oh,
isn't
he's
he?
been doing movies for a while now. It's just not like huge blockbusters. I want
Yeah.
to see his Santa movie called The Fat Man, where he
Fat
sends
Man.
this kid Cole, and this kid hires a hitman to go kill Santa.
Oh yeah.
It looks badass.
Oh. Is there any so we went through the 2023 roster of movies, and when we did, I said that this was going to be the year of mediocre content but amazing announcements. And I want to throw out some cool announcements that I heard this week. Invincible season 2 coming late January or late
2023.
Yeah.
I saw the teaser and I was like, wow, you wasted a bunch of time and money to come up with this teaser to make it all meta and be like, hey, when's it coming out?
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They did that. I mean, honestly, it's not like they would have gotten the show done any sooner. Like, it's a single scene.
I mean, it's a waste. Just put out an announcement. Yo.
It's Amazon. They have money to waste.
That's-
Let them waste
That's
it.
true.
Yeah.
They got plenty of money to waste.
If Amazon wants to burn their cash promoting a show that everyone's going to love, let them do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I'm excited to see the second season.
Then you have, so Cody doesn't care about this, so I'm going to, he's been he had a very honest conversation with me the other day about it. So I've given up on you, Cody. I'm sorry. Taylor,
So did my father.
there's a show called The Legend of Vox Machina.
Oh, yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
It's based on a group of people who play Dungeons and Dragons live, and they are animating their campaigns into a series they're called Critical Role. Have you heard that name before?
I haven't heard of that, no.
I'm gonna have to get you up to speed on that. But there's a show called The Legend of Vox Machina, which is a story of their first campaign. Season 1 was crowdfunded, so it succeeded by making a few $1 million, and they partnered with Amazon to create the show.
Okay.
So let me see if pull it up. Partnered with Amazon to create the show. The first season comes out, and it is just tremendously positive reviews across the board. Hugely popular. All of the people who loved Critical Role and flocked to the show. Everyone I know has given this show their blessing and said this is exactly what we wanted from Critical Role as far as an animated show. Season 1 goes by, I think it was last year or the year before, and it comes and goes, and they announced Season 2 almost within the first week or 2 weeks of the episodes coming out. So when The Legend of Vox Machina was airing, they dropped 3 episodes a week, 3 half-hour episodes a week, which I think is my favorite distribution method now.
Yeah.
When the show is short like that, yeah, I would say so.
Because 1 episode a week carries on, not enough content to keep you hooked.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand episodically it's just not as engaging. But if you have a show like this with short episodes and you drop them in...
Because then it's an hour a week that you get.
It's an hour a week, exactly. And
Perfect.
so they announced Season 2 was official right away. Right away after the Season 1 had launched. They were only 2 weeks in and they launched it. Got funding and everything they needed to lock down Season 2. Mm-hmm. It dropped its first its first episode of Season 2 this last week. I binge watched the first 3 episodes of Season 2. It is so much better. It is so much better in Season 2 than in Season 1. In the first 3 episodes, there's already a iconic character death and just great story that's happening. Amazing animations. It's insanely funny. When I showed Cody the trailer, you had a really good comparison. You're like, it's Guardians of the Galaxy if it was a fantasy adventure.
Pretty much.
That's really true because it is
Very quippy.
It is a very gritty, very it is a kind of a darker comedy too. I think you would actually like this. There's some parts of it that are a little raunchy, but it's small. It's like 5% raunch, so it's pretty absorbable.
So is Fred if you watch Velma episode 2.
Yeah.
Well, no, there was way more raunch in Velma. It was like
No, I meant short. I said
40%.
It's small. So is Fred.
Yeah. But I think so. Season 2 of this has come out, and then another announcement that I've heard is, Cody, you know what Timcast is. Taylor, do you know what Timcast is?
No.
So there's a podcast that we follow called Timcast IRL. Last night they were talking about launching a tabletop, an open sourced, which means anyone can have access to it, make changes to it, do whatever they want with it once it's out. And they're creating a tabletop RPG game that would basically compete with Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and other iconic tabletop games. All of those are amazing announcements that have happened in the last 2 weeks that I am just so excited. And I just want to say I called it. This is the year of good announcements. This is the year of good news, shit content.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all meh about it.
Yeah. I am excited. I am excited. Then you have, you should be excited about the announcements and stuff that's coming out with the FNT, the Fellowship, because you got Critical Drinkers content coming out. You have Shadiversity and their content coming out. I mean, their crowdfunding's been successful.
Yeah, I think I stated this pretty clearly last week. I don't really get excited about anything. Just like, cool. Yeah, all right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's good news. It's good news that these
yes, it's good
projects are
news.
succeeding.
We're getting different kinds of entertainment towards not all from Hollywood or something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, if you like this, it's not as well produced. It's more of just they're in front of a live audience. But have you heard of Harmon Quest?
I introduced you to Harmon
Quest. Oh, that's right. That was you. I was like, I watched all of that.
You did?
I've watched all of it.
If you loved Harmon Quest,
loved it.
You're in on this. You're sold. I don't need to sell you on this. If you liked Harmon
Funny
Quest,
enough,
you'll love this.
Funny enough, I watched the first season with the fiance even because I was like, she actually liked it.
This isn't a dig. She's kind of a normie at a lot of this stuff.
Oh, for
right?
sure.
And that's not a
for
dig.
sure.
I don't know if this will be her cup of tea, but if she liked Harmon Quest, she might like this.
Because I started watching the second season because she didn't really say nothing. So I started watching the second without her, and she came down, and I was like on my laptop. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just watching the second season. It came out. You didn't tell me? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, you didn't say nothing. I was like, I didn't even know you liked it.
Harmon Quest is awesome.
It was fine. I was like, oh, okay.
You guys would, if you guys liked Harmon Quest, there's a very, very high chance you guys would like this. You probably would.
I don't know if I've seen. Actually, I think I've seen season 3. I think I've seen all 3.
I think I want.
There's only 3 seasons, it says.
Okay, I thought maybe there was a 4th, or maybe it's not even announced yet.
I have no idea. That's all it says is let's check it out.
So, I guess how are we doing for time?
Hour on the dot.
We're gonna talk about Last of Us show, but maybe we should save that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
So
there's a
we'll
lot to
watch-
talk about. We
can
don't
watch it.
want
Yeah.
to rush it.
Okay. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll have plenty of time. It doesn't look like that show's going anywhere, and honestly, it seems like.
Episode a week, 10 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll have. There will be more news coming out about it.
It's
I mean,
probably a good
the
idea. I
second
mean,
episode will be coming out soon enough. We'll have more reviews to look at and see.
I was
what
about to
people are
say
thinking.
we'll see if the hype continues with it.
Because we all know where the story's going. Have you
Oh,
played
for
them?
sure. I've seen the gameplay.
I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
Don't.
I know. I'm not going to. First one was good. But I was also thinking, why do you even need to make a show if the game itself is pretty cinematic and plays almost like a movie?
Well, that's like you could make that argument about Halo. You know,
That
didn't
doesn't
need a
play
show.
like
They
a movie
shouldn't
or
have.
anything. That's just first-person shooter.
Well, no, Halo is an incredibly cinematic storyline.
Like, I mean, even the gameplay is like cinematic.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, we will call
Yeah,
it there. We'll talk about Last of Us and maybe a few other content in the weeks coming up, and hopefully it's something worth looking at and enjoying. Final thoughts from either of the two of you guys?
You guys are going to keep watching Velma?
Oh, yeah. That was my final thought. I can't wait to see episode 2.
Just get shit-faced tonight. Watch it.
That's the goal now.
If I come home from work one night and I'm just like I hate myself, maybe I'll maybe I'll do that.
I had a
But
bad day. Let's make it worse.
Let's
Like,
just pile
I
on.
want to find the bottom and then I smash through that glass floor.
There you go. You just want
Smash the patriarchy of the glass
Yeah,
floor.
if you just want to find the bottom one night, you just come home on a Wednesday, get drunk, and watch that show.
What could be worse? You pop on HBO and the first thing that comes up is Velma. Like,
Here we
fuck,
go.
might as well.
Oh, my dog died, my house burned down, and Velma's on the TV. This is the worst day of my life.
It's like an onion cutting itself.
Ogres have layers.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Third Party Podcast with Cody, Taylor, Talks, and we will see you guys next time. Peace. Peace. Bitches.